Hello, it's Friday, April 28th, 2017, and as of this recording, I'm still depressed, but I'm not dead. Hey everybody, I'm back. For those of you keeping score, no, I did not come back from the cruise tan. I did get a little sunburn, but in general, I managed to stay out of the sun and into the shade, thereby maintaining my pasty white complexion. Yeah, so I'm back. I'm going to tell you all about the cruise, kind of what's going on, catch up a little bit. I am not going to apologize for the delay since the last show. But I do want to say before I get into the show that, hey, we did it. 3,000 plus downloads occurred just before the cruise. I never would have imagined ever to get those downloads. It's encouraging. It keeps me going. Thank you guys for downloading the show. I hope you're listening to them and not just downloading them and forgetting about them. I know I have a few podcasts I'm way behind on myself. If you're new, if you're just listening today, go back. There's 34 some odd episodes before. Hopefully, anybody listening will find a show, maybe a couple shows, maybe even a nugget in a show that helps you out a little, gives you something to think about maybe, or makes you feel not so alone or isolated, or kind of gets you out of a, internal feedback that, oh, no one understands me. This is novel to me. That's kind of what I'm doing. I want to get a voice out there for other people to listen to. And hopefully you get something out of this. Thank you, everybody, so much for the downloads. And let's head off on to 4,000 downloads. That would be great. So you can get a hold of me all over the interwebs, jamoalki@gmail.com, www.jamoalki.info, facebook.com/jamoalki, on Twitter @jamoalki. You can text me at 248-648-1419 if you just want to have someone to bounce ideas off of, if you just want to chat, if you have a comment on the show. Reach out to me any of those ways. That's Jamoalki, Jamoalki. And the train's gone by, so let's get to it. Okay, so in my charmed life, I guess, I mentioned last show that we were going on a cruise here, Nora and I, and the two children who live in the house here. It was gifted to us by Nora's dad. He did very well for himself in his professional life. He's retired now. He's not super megastar rich, anything like that, but he's comfortable, and he shares and he adores his family, and I am fortunate enough to be part of that now. So he took some folks from his family onto a cruise. Not everybody was available, not everybody's into cruises, so on and so forth, but off we went to a Disney cruise, and as you might expect, it was pretty wonderful. We didn't get into kind of the onshore excursions so much. We stopped at Nassau, and then Disney leases an island, rents or leases. I'm not sure. They're different. I'm not sure how. So they leased this island from the Bahamas. And they named it Disney Castaway Cay. So they are the only ones on this really quite small island, but it's a beautiful beach, nice little walk around, snorkel, jet ski, those kind of things. So it was pretty fun. I spent a fair amount of time on my own on the cruise. I'm not one for crowds. I think it's well established. I'm not much for socializing. We did have dinner as a whole group of 11 every night. But I was pretty much up before everybody else, sometimes as early as 6, 5:30. And I would go up on deck and wait for the sun to come up or just see what's going on for the day. Do all that. Eventually Nora and the kids were awake and we'd go have some breakfast. And then pretty much it was, hey, I'm going to go off to this teen thing. Hey, I am going to go, whatever, go on the water slide that's on the boat. Nora took advantage of some spa services on the boat. So she got to do that. And, I was pretty low key. I was like, okay, go do it. If you guys need me, Disney has this app for their phone that connects to their Wi-Fi on the boat. And all you can do is function within this app. You can't like hop on Facebook, things like that. And within it is a kind of a text messaging portion. So we were all connected through that. So, hey, if someone needed me, hey, where you at? Blah, 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 this and that. Kids all had their own key cards. They could do whatever they wanted. It was great. We met up sometimes, did some things, played some foosball, shot some basketball, saw a movie with Nora's dad. I saw Doctor Strange. It was better than I thought it would be. I don't know that I'd recommend it, but it was, I'm on a boat watching a movie in a movie theater. Holy cow, right? So yeah, I did, I managed to find time for myself as often as possible, trying hard not to be antisocial, but certainly avoiding being social. And just the general amount of crowdiness on the boat, it wasn't packed. It's not like a Rio de Janeiro beach or something like that, but more people than I really enjoy being around in general. So I found myself really wanting to decompress pretty often. So, some other things about the boat, I did, being honest and truthful and kind of piggybacking on a comment from the blog. I think it was from Kate. Kate, if you're listening, thanks for the comment. And she mentioned that she, though she's not feeling suicidal, she kind of has a running catalog in her head of, hey, this is a suicide idea. Here is something to kind of squirrel away one day just in case. And, the first thing I did when I was on my own on the boat was I found the place that would be easiest to jump off of the boat. Fourth deck, starboard side where the lifeboats are, with a little gate latch, go through and clear sailing out into the water if that's what you wanted. I did not get on the boat with the intentions of doing anything like that, but it almost felt comforting to know that here was this option. I don't know how that sounds. That's weird, right? I'm on a family vacation with my wife and her kids, and I wanted to, I received comfort in knowing that place on the boat existed and I knew how to get to it, regardless of the fact that I had no intentions on doing anything about it. And so, when I did that, I thought of that comment on the blog. And geez, I hope it was Kate. If it's not Kate, sorry, not Kate. If it is Kate, thank you, Kate. But it just made me think of that I felt like there was a hole in my catalog and I could fill it up with a piece of information just to have. And it oddly felt more comforting. I know I've said that word like 10 times now, but I don't know of another word to describe it. So yeah, there was that. I had that planned out, or not planned out, I guess it wasn't a plan, but scoped out. Kind of if we're talking kind of mental health, mental issues. So our cruise was Monday late afternoon through Friday morning. We flew down to Orlando on, I guess it was Easter Sunday, early in the morning. Got down there. We had a hotel we were going to stay at, and then take a car over to the port the following day, late morning. And, we were at the hotel and we're like, oh, we got to eat. So we took a walk down the street and we passed, it's Orlando. So there's, a Disney entrance kind of. It's been a long time since I was there, but essentially it was I'm guessing one of the main roads that go to Disney. So it's not like we could peek in and see a Mickey Mouse, but it was, there's a sign, Disney, and there's a Mickey Mouse and a Donald Duck on the sign. And I took a picture and sent it to my girls. And we're walking, and we're having fun. I'm joking with the kids. Nora and I are walking, holding hands, this and that. And I started to feel immensely guilty. And I've talked about this a bit, but that I was having this fun with the kids here and not exclusively with my girls back in Michigan, but without them. And kind of as the walk to eat Fuddruckers, thank you, I started to feel that way, and on the way back I felt more that way. Nora and the kids were talking about going to once called Downtown Disney, now is Disney Springs. It was like a mile and a half away, and they were trying to figure out how they were going to get there. And I kind of pulled Nora to the side and I said, hey, listen, if you really want me to be there or need me to be there, I will go. But I didn't feel like I was in a position where I could continue on having that fun or being a positive addition to the group because of the way I felt like I was cheating on my girls. That, hey, here's something that Jay would really like, she'd be really interested in, and she's not here, and I wanted her to be there. Or, oh my gosh, this is really pretty, Mo would love to take a look at that, and I can't. And I felt like an ass taking pictures and sending them to them, like, hey, look at all this fun I'm having without you. And it really actually it became really bothersome for me. And I chalked some of it up to being tired. We had gotten up super early, plane ride, all that. So, I just said, Nora, hey, look, if you need me to go, I'll go. But, I would be perfectly happy just kind of hanging here. And she understood it and, gave me a kiss and all that. And they ended up not going because the kids didn't really want to walk and we were unsure about public transportation. And, everybody was tired, so I think it ended up being okay. And we were spending the Friday we came back, the boat docked early, disembark as early as 7 a.m., I think it was. And then we were spending the majority of the day at Disney Springs until our plane ride later in the day. So they all got to see it. Nobody missed out on anything. And, I got a decent night's sleep, I think, and got to the boat. And most of that kind of intense feeling of guilt and feeling of cheating was gone. But it came back the following. So the first morning on the boat when things started really happening, it was tough. And I am comforted in the fact that I acknowledged it. I understood it was happening. I wish I understood more why it was happening and how it was happening so I could kind of temper it or, put it in its proper place in my emotional mind. I suspect it's okay to want to share things with people who you can't. I get that. The world is not perfect, but this was beyond that. I just, started, it's a short trip from, hey, Al would love to see the way this looks here and this restaurant, and oh my gosh, we would have so much fun, to I'm a horrible dad because I can't share this with them, or I haven't shared the past 15 things that they did at home while I was here in Minnesota. That's a very short step for me, and it's a very steep slope kind of falling down. But, we got through it. I guess I was kind of racked with a lot more. I guess I was. That evening we got onto the boat, and, it was clear, it was obvious that, we would, when we embarked, did we embark? When we set sail, we weren't sailing, we were whatever. But, when we left the dock and we were heading out to the water, that there would be a point where I no longer had cell coverage, and there was outrageously priced, Wi-Fi for running your apps, like, like $50 a minute or whatever. I don't know, that it's not that expensive, but so I'd be completely out of contact with my girls. And so I was messaging all four of them and letting them know, hey, this is what's going on. And, I just want to let you guys know, blah, 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 that, I love you. I miss you. I wish you were here. In a little bit, I'm not going to be able to get any text messages or anything. And I remember feeling so, I don't know, I felt so compelled to make sure that they understood that I wasn't abandoning them, that I wasn't forgetting them while I was going on this trip. And I think probably a good deal of that was for me, not so much for them. In fact, I'm sure of it. But it was strong. I was, forever running back up on deck because, in the cabin or, when we were eating dinner that first night, or lunch, I guess, when we got on the boat, there was no cell service. You're deck, 4 or 5 of a 11 deck boat. So, inside the metal hull, there's no cell service. So keep running up. I get an idea. Oh gosh, you know what? I gotta let them know this. So I'd, run back up on deck, get my cell coverage again. So there's that. Going on a cruise, wonderful time, Bahamas, beautiful weather, sunsets, sunrises, fun kids, fun things with my wife, and I was a guilty, emotional wreck about not having my girls with me, or at least maybe not even having them with me as much as having them be able to have this experience as well. So yeah, there's that, the cruise. And on the positive note, I mean, I think that there was a lot of good connections made with the kids here. We, spent more time together, and I think there was a lot of trust and bonding that grew with C here. That she's the girl. I know I haven't talked about them much. So, she's great, and I think we bonded quite a bit. And P, the boy, he's who he is. I'm who I am. We get along and everything's great. But I think we kind of bonded a little bit more on the boat. Good wins with kids and emotional stumbling blocks with other kids. Yeah. Let's see. More positive thing. Nora and I went for a run the other night. First time I've done that in a while. She has joined a Moms on the Run thing. It's a group of women, obviously, and they, varying levels of running. And the idea is just to be active, but, around that running. She was kind of hedging on going to the first meeting. I guess they're a meeting, but you go running. So it's not, they don't sit around a table. So I told her I'd go with her, and she was kind of into that, and I got to wear one of her running skirts. So I was, and it was raining, so I was not only the only male of the group, I was also the only one in a skirt in the group. So that was good fun. There are pictures around. Don't know if you're going to see it. So yeah, I did that, and it's interval training. So it's run, walk a little, warm up run for 8 minutes, and then run at an increased speed for 30 seconds. And then walk for 30, then run 30, blah, 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 12 sets of that. So 12 minutes of faster run and walk, bookend by 10 minutes of cool down jogging and 8 minutes of warm up jogging. So it was good. It was, I don't want to say it was easy for me, but I really enjoy the walking. It did make it a lot more comfortable for me. And Nora has messaged me today asking if we're going to go again tonight. And it's 37 degrees out, and it was snowing this morning. And I kind of hedged, and she said, well, why not? And I said, okay. So by the time you hear this, I will have run a second time in as many days. So, wahoo. So, why I'm putting this podcast, as usual, it's Thursday as I'm recording this. It'll go out tomorrow, Friday. I got up this morning and, got up with Nora, and, we had showered last night. So we didn't shower this morning. And so it was kind of a slow start to the day. Still made her breakfast and coffee and saw her off to work, and did, morning cleanup around the house. But, I felt off. And, like I have countless other days, which I attribute to the depression and whatnot. And so I tried really kind of figuring out what feels off. Is it, do I not feel well? A little achy from the run the other day, but no, maybe that's enough just to tip me, say, oh, well, that sucks, and kind of spiral from there. And what I realized was that like everything that I was doing felt wrong. It felt like I wasn't doing it right, that it was incomplete. So like making Nora's eggs, I felt like I wasn't doing it right, or I wasn't doing it properly. And scrambled eggs with some spinach and peppers and little onion in it. Not like trying to keep a quiche up in the oven, right? Simple things, but it felt wrong. I fed the dogs, let them go outside, felt like I wasn't doing it correctly. And so I decided, hey, maybe I just need to step back and let me go get some bagels, right? I'll stand by, get some bagels, relax, hide in my booth and just kind of surf the internet. That felt wrong. I was trying to come up with a plan for the rest of the day. There's some things to do, some bills to go pay. Nora's asked me to make her a ring light for a little endeavor of hers. I have a package I want to mail to my kids. And I go, okay, I'm going to go drive and go pay this bill. And it felt like that was the wrong thing to do, that there was something else that I should have been doing. And it wasn't a nag like, if I could just think of what this other thing is. It just simply was, no, this is not the right thing to be doing right now. And I don't know, it was undeniable, but still kind of ethereal, right? Kind of out there. But so I went and paid the bill, drove back, felt wrong about it. I stopped, wanted to get a soda, got a soda. That felt wrong. Everything just felt wrong. And I don't know how to explain it more than that. I stopped at Goodwill because I heard about a fun little thing. We have two little dogs. Someone said, oh, you should feed them in ice cube trays. So they kind of have to work at getting their food out. Well, okay, that's kind of fun. So I wanted to just buy 2 cheap ice cube trays. And while I was at Goodwill, they had a Trivial Pursuit Junior Edition. And I thought about how, when my girls and I would go get pizza at a particular pizza place there in Michigan, they would always have, little trivia cards or things like that. Oh, well, the little ones might think it's fun if they just get the cards from this game, not the game. So, $2 for that, and half price for kids stuff. So 99 cents for this. And I'm walking, just kind of looking at other things, and I felt, well, this is wrong. This is dumb. Why am I buying this? This is a silly purchase. It's a waste of money. It's $1. And yeah, maybe they'll like it, maybe they won't, but I just felt, I went and put it back. And then, I walked around a little bit more, just looking. You never know what you might see. And I finally decided, I'm just going to do it. So I went back and got it again and took it and paid for it was like $1.50 for the ice cube trays and this game. But yeah, that felt wrong. Like I shouldn't have been doing it. And where does that self-doubt come from? What is that? That's outrageous, right? That can't be what you would consider healthy thinking, normal thinking, right? For $1.50, right? I could see if I was going to buy, buy gold rings for all my girls, on Nora's dime and send them. Okay, yeah, okay, hey, step that back. But $1 on a game. And I felt so badly and felt that it was such the wrong thing to do that I went and put it back on the shelf. I don't know. That's a weird one for me. Yeah. I've been kind of yammering here for quite a bit. I'll keep going. I got a couple other things. I've been going, like I mentioned, back to my therapist, Alex. who I had seen back when, blah, 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 whole story, go to home, stay with my dad when he had a surgery, blah, 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 all that. So we're in like our fourth appointment since I've been revisiting him. And something that, I'd mentioned, we were talking about autism spectrum or avoidant personality disorder, all those kind of things. And something I've noticed that is different this time around, not just with Alex, but with any therapist that I've had, is we're actually spending time just, observing, investigating. We're not working towards anything right now. We're actually just, hey, here's a kind of weird thought I had the other day, Alex. Let's talk about that. Let's see, let's just see if anything comes from that. But we'll talk about it. Not like, here's event A, here's reaction B, and help me solve it C. It's none of that. We're just kind of talking, and it's nice. I'm a little surprised that I'm okay with it because I am kind of result driven. I don't want to talk to someone unless there's some result to be gained from that, and not. When I say that, I don't mean like a gain for me, like, hey, I'm only going to talk for you if you've got something for me. It's just idle chat just doesn't interest me. I don't know how to do it. So it's kind of what this, we are working towards something, but we're not finishing up the session and saying, well, okay, let's, why don't you kind of go through this next week and focus on, what we talked about and see if this works for you. It's just, hey, good to see you. We'll see you next week, or do we have an appointment for next week? Okay, great. We'll see you. Shake hands. Have a good day. Awesome. So that's different for me, and I think I like it, but I do like it, but I've already started seeing how I can screw it all up. So I'll talk about that next show. Yeah. One last thing, I guess. So, I talked about the getting on the boat and, finding the spot to jump off the boat. And, the idea of suicide is always with me, whether it's active or passive or just passing. And I'd say, about the last week, there's been a shift in that to where, and this is going to sound weird, but I'm just going to say it, the idea of a messy death is unappealing. And I think not only is that kind of weird to say, but I think it's remarkable. I think it's important shift in thinking where, I wouldn't just, run out across busy roads, but I didn't really care that much that, hey, I'm just going to go across this intersection and that car is supposed to stop because it's the law and there's signs. So I'm just going to assume he will. If he doesn't, okay. But, the other day I was walking and I don't know, I was at that point and the car was coming. I wasn't, there's no guarantee they were going to stop. And I said, oh, I'm just going to go. And then, flash in my head of, accidents, bloody accidents, whatever, broken bones, broken whatever, and kind of flashed through my head. And I was like, oh, hey, that's not appealing. So, I stood back and waited for the car to stop. And of course they did, and off I went. But yeah, that's something. I don't know what that is, but that's something. It's a aversion to one special kind of death scenario, I guess. I don't know. Is that weird? That sounds weird. But yeah, that's it. It is. So I'm interested in that and curious about if is the kind of forward movement that I think it is, or if it's just something else. I don't know. I don't know, guys. There I've kind of babbled quite a bit, but I think I've managed to say a few intelligent things this time. Please, if you like the show, recommend me to someone. If you get me through iTunes or whatnot, leave a review, give me a rating so other people can find me. Spread the word if you think someone might gain something from this. We're all in this kind of community, and some of you are kind of just coming in and listening, or maybe not, just going to the blog. But I know a lot of you are part of mental health communities who may know someone who may glean something from my ramblings. So if you think you know someone, share it, please. That's the whole goal, right? We're all helping each other out in this together. So yeah, and please, send me some feedback. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you think, hey, that, what, you said that and that doesn't really sound like anything. Or, hey, you said that. And yeah, I thought that too. And, maybe we can explore that. Maybe we can help each other figure some stuff out about ourselves. So, yeah, everybody, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Everybody have a good day, a good weekend, and I'll talk to you next time. Thanks, everybody. Be safe and be well.